What is going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. So now that we are a month and a half into the season, everything is starting to fall into place in terms of both team standing and kind of the award races. The guys and teams at the top are probably going to stay there. There's some stat like 75% of the teams that are in playoff spots by or after Thanksgiving may end up making the playoffs. So a lot of what has gone down is probably what is going to continue. So I thought it'd be a fun idea to revisit my preseason predictions. I am aware of some of the winners that I chose. I'm not sure about my standing predictions and all that. So I thought it'd be a fun idea. Let's dive into it. Up first, the Pacific Division. I had the Oilers winning. That obviously did not go well. I think everybody had the Oilers top three, at least in the Pacific. So I can't be too mad. I was definitely higher than them the most. It has come crashing down and burnt, but I still think they're going to end up making the playoffs just because of how much of a shit show the Western wild card is. I think they're going to pull their shit together, finish with 91 points, so still an L, 20 less points than I thought. I was very high on the LA Kings, had them at 104 points, second in the division. I think they have a good chance at winning the division, obviously. I think at the bare minimum, they're going to finish second. Knights I was a little bit low on. They started off fantastic, but they are starting to kind of come back down to earth. Flames, disappointing, but playing better of late. Canucks, I know in one of the graphics I have later, I'm praising the Canucks. So I had them at 93 points. I had them slightly higher than most other people. Obviously did not have them making the playoffs or safely making the playoffs. I had them missing by 1 point, but I think that's a pretty good shout. Seattle Kraken, I got a lot of shit for that. They're playing pretty bad right now, 88 points. Think they're going to finish somewhere around the mid-80s. Ducks, great start, but have already started to kind of come back down to earth. So I think that's valid. Sharks, I might have been too high on, even at 56 points. So for this, the Oilers definitely hurt. Flames hurt. I'm going to give this like a B-. Next up, Central Division. So the big two, Stars, Avalanche. I still think the Stars are going to end up winning the division just because they're more of a cohesive unit right now. The Avs have looked pretty solid. I think some of their they're not young pieces. Some of their new pieces are still kind of molding with that team. Still safely going to make the playoffs. Wild's not good. That's not a good pick. Even though, again, like the Oilers, most people had them making the playoffs. That's bad. Their goaltending tandem is obviously kind of imploded in their face. I think they have a chance to turn it around, again, just because of how bad the Western Conference after like the sixth best team has been. But obviously the Jets have been the far better team. I was a little bit lower on the Jets coming into the season than some other people. Still had them making the playoffs, but in that last wild card spot, and obviously they've been very good this year, should probably be close to a 100-point team. Blues, I was higher in the Blues than the Preds and the Yotes, so I got to give myself some credit there. Credit where I can. There's not a ton of spots. Blues are over 500 right now in terms of points percentage. I think they're at they won today, so they're at 57% or something like that. They're easily in the mix for a playoff spot. Predators, Yotes, I think they're just average to below average teams. They're going to 84, 81 points seem about right. And then the Blackhawks at 57. I think they should be around there, especially with the Taylor Hall injury. I think they're going to be in the 50s. Next up, I don't know which one's next, whether it's a Metro, Canes, they're probably not winning the division at this point. New York Rangers, if you swap the Canes and the Rangers, and the Devils are not looking too hot either. I feel like most people had that top three. Some people were a little low on the Rangers, saying that they weren't going to make the playoffs. I never went that bold. I still think they were not head and shoulders, but clearly better than the Penguins. Penguins have not looked that good. Capitals, not that good of a pick for me, even though I think I was higher than some other people on the Capitals. Even at 89 points, they've obviously been battling for a playoff spot. Jackets suck. And then the Flyers, I was lower on than obviously what they're performing right now. They've been one of the biggest surprises in the entire NHL right now. So this, not bad, but not good by any means. And then last, we got the Atlantic. Ooh, this is not good. Leafs winning division, Sens 102. I'm still sticking. I'm at this point with the Senators. I got to be like the captain of the Titanic, like how he goes down with the ship. He doesn't even try to get on a lifeboat. I'm sticking with the Senators. I still think they make the playoffs. I would not have them at 102 points right now. Obviously, that's ludicrous to have them at that many points, but I still think they make it at 95 points. Lightning, a lot of people had the Lightning missing. I said they just need to survive, play mid 50%, mid 50s, 55% points percentage until Vasilevsky gets back. Kucherov is obviously carried, and they're exactly not where they want to be. Obviously, you want to be leading the goddamn division, but considering they're going from arguably the worst goalie tandem in the entire league to the top three goalie starting every night, they're in a great spot. Boston Bruins obviously playing great. People expected to fall off. I still had them in the playoffs, but I expected a big fall off. Has not happened. Panthers, I was lower than the most. Got to take the L on that. Sabres, I was right about. People said that they were easily going to make the playoffs. Some people had them at only 88. And then the Wings, most people had them at the 7 spot. I might have had them a little bit lower than even most people. That's an L. I think at this point, they're probably going to be around 90 points, if not 95, if not 100 in making the playoffs. Then the Canadiens, I think the Canadiens are going to slowly go down just because the Atlantic is so good right now that I don't think that they're going to end up around like 80 points. They're going to end up in the low 70s. Selke predictions. Nico Hischier. He's missed like 14 games. He missed 14 games. He just got back. That's kind of dead. Barkov, number 2. He's the clear favorite right now. I think that him versus the field, if he stays healthy, his defensive numbers are gross. Pettersson's going to be in the mix. His defensive numbers aren't his advanced stats aren't fantastic defensively. Obviously, the Canucks are caving people in terms of 5-on-5. Their PDO's off the charts right now. So he's going to be in the mix. I don't know if he'd be a finalist right now. Kopitar actually hasn't been that good defensively. Marner hasn't been that good defensively. Benier's been okay defensively, even though Seattle stinks. Ek, I think he might have a shot to be a finalist. Stone actually hasn't been that good defensively. Cates has not been that good. And Chiarelli's been pretty solid. So Barkov was the only one I hit on here, but he's like that's a pretty basic one. I can't really take that much respect from that. Hart pyramid. I got the list. We'll go to the list. McDavid winning it. He might have a chance. He still has a chance because now there is a narrative behind the Edmonton Oilers of like, oh, they stunk. He did miss a couple games. He got hurt. If he gets back to 100%, finishes with 125 points, he can still win it. Wouldn't be my pick right now. Austin Matthews, not the MVP on his own team, but I think by the end of the season, he'll have a better season than a William Nylander, especially if William Nylander ends up signing. Maybe he'll stop going God mode. So I still think Austin Matthews, if I had to bet, I'd say he'd be a finalist right now. Jack Hughes, missing those 7 or 8 games is really going to hurt his case. McKinnon's been not quite McKinnon this year, but he could always just pop off. Kaprizov, bad pick. Pettersson, I was higher on Pettersson coming into this season. Obviously, as of right now, Quinn Hughes would probably be the MVP of that team, but I think Pettersson's going to get over 100 points and definitely finish top 10. Robertson, bad. Kachuk, bad. Draisaitl, not good. Crosby, pretty good. Crosby has a good shot. Obviously, I am missing Nikita Kucherov. That's like the bad snub. He's the favorite right now, especially with no Vasilevsky. I should have had him on this. I had the Lightning making the playoffs, so obviously I assumed that Kucherov would go. I don't know. I messed that up. I got to take the L on that. But this isn't that bad. But also the top 4 is pretty basic, so I can't like flex it. Next up, Norris. I think this is probably my best one. Cale Makar 1, Quinn Hughes 2. It's a 2-man race. It's like a 2-man race right now. So I hit the... Obviously, I can't be like, oh, I bet on Cale Makar to win the Norris. Real bold pick, Mike. But when Quinn Hughes, I said he was... I think he said like 84 points this year. He's going to get more than that. But I said that it was going to be a Quinn Hughes breakout year. And obviously, those two have been great. Dahlin's going to be in the mix. Fox missed, 10 games? He's coming back this Tuesday. He can still end up being top 5 playing 72 games just because he is that good. And he was playing that good. The offense was there. He was... 11 points in 10 games, I think. So I think Adam Fox not winning it over a Makar or Hughes unless they get hurt for a shit ton, but he's still going to get a lot of votes. Carlson's been that offensive beast that they expected, and also his defensive numbers have been much improved compared to him in San Jose. So Carlson's never been a great defender, but clearly him playing in San Jose with his defense, bad team, usually bad defender, horrendous. Pittsburgh, slightly better team. Defensive numbers have been better. Still not amazing, but I think he's going to be firmly in the mix. Heiskanen, very good. Bouchard, I got clowned for that. He's put it up insane offensive numbers. I didn't say that he was a top 10 defenseman in the league, but the points are going to be there. He makes ridiculous decisions in his own zone that cost the Oilers a shit ton of goals and a shit ton of high danger opportunities, but I still think he's going to get some votes just because of the casual voter that sees a bunch of points. Hamilton's been good. Yossi and Carlson, not that good of picks, but they can still turn it up. Calder. Bedard, I think at this point, unless Bedard gets seriously hurt, which nobody wants that. We all don't want that. He's probably going to run away with the Calder. Adam Fantilli, number 2, hasn't aged that good. He has, 10 points in 21 games. Cooley's been very good. I had Levi at 4, but a lot of people had him top 3. I'm not trying to it's still wrong. Levi is not even on a top 10. Evangelista, I was higher on him the most. He's playing very good. I should have been higher on Luke Hughes. I didn't realize that he was going to end up getting the number 1 power play spot in the goddamn Devils. He'd be my second most likely guy to win it right now. Matthew Nyes, very good. If he continues to play in the top 6, he's going to be in the mix to be second to Bedard. Carlson, I did not think that he was going to be starting top line, playing 18 minutes a night. Obviously, I put $300 on him to win the Calder at plus 50 once I saw that. So I'm definitely higher on Carlson right now. But back then, I didn't see the vision. Jiricek. He's playing right now in the NHL, but he's just not really tearing it up on a Columbus team. And Brent Clark is in the AHL right now. He has like 18 points in 15 games. They got to bring him up at some point, but obviously that's dead. This prediction, not the best, but I got the winner, I guess. Vezina ballot. Shesterkin. Quick is playing so good that they're going to end up like splitting starts. Shesterkin's still been playing good, but Ottinger, I was high on Ottinger. He has really delivered thus far. I think he has like a 928 save percent or something like that. Dallas Stars going to be one of the best teams in hockey. That was a very good prediction. I'm proud of that. Sorokin, not playing that good. This had to be before the injury. I was not assuming Vasilevsky missed 2 months and didn't get the start. Can we see the date? All right, September 25th. So yeah, he got ruled out like end of September. Connor Hellebuck. Look at this. Oh my, wait. Oh, that's awkward. To suck. That's bad. I deserve to get roasted for that. Fully expect Quick to suck and Igor having to carry the Rangers. I didn't even see that at first. Hellebuck's been a little bit disappointing. Georgiev has not really been it. Sorrow, Skinner. Obviously, I didn't expect the Boston Bruins to be as good as they are and Swayman to emerge. I kind of just wrote both of them off. Trying to think of who else. Binnington has been fantastic. Obviously was not picking Jordan Binnington in a goddamn preseason to be like, you guys would have laughed at me if he was on my goddamn ballot. And Varley might as well be on this, but that's another story. Goals prediction, Rocket predictions. We got Matthews. Matthews has what, like 15 and 18 games? So right now he would still be my Rocket prediction. McDavid, not looking too good. I don't even think he's going to get 50 this year. Draisaitl, I think he's going to end up getting 50. Pasta, I was still high on. He should end up around the 52 goal mark. Hughes, probably below because he missed all those games. Kaprizov, not that good of a pick. Rantanen, probably going to be around 50. Thompson, hurt, dead. Robertson, dead. McKinnon, probably not going to get to 45. So that's got the top guy right. People, I told you guys, screamed from all heavens that Matthews is winning the Rocket. Looks like it's very possible right now. Didn't have Nikita Kucherov then. My best bets. Hawks under 71.5. I still think that's going to hit. They're especially with the Taylor Hall now down. They have nobody in terms of their forward core. Corey Perry's on an indefinite leave of absence. They are going to stink. Once they sell at the deadline, it's going to get ugly. Hart, McDavid. I still think he has a decent chance to win it, but at plus 100, that's horrible odds. Kreider's tearing it up. He has something like 13 goals in 19 games. That's probably dead. Sens over 91.5. I still believe. Oilers Pacific, dead. Hughes over 40.5. Possible if he starts to heat up. I still think he can do it, even though he missed like 7 games. Bedard, Calder, probably happening, especially at 125. That's great value now. Matthews over 90.5. If he plays like 77 games, he should get that. Hughes, time of ice leader. Not happening. He's only playing like 24-30. There's guys playing like 26-30. And then Kraken, no playoffs. I think that's going to happen pretty easily. So that's going to happen. Hawks, yes. Bedard, yes. Matthews, yes. Kraken, no playoffs. That's 4 yeses, I'd say. Kreider, under. Oilers, Pacific. All right, is dead. 3 dead. Hughes, time of ice. So right now we got 4 that I think could happen. 3 that are dead. In Kreider, the under is dead. Unless he slows down significantly and, God forbid, gets an injury. But moving on, now we got the full predictions visualized. Cup champ, Colorado Avalanche. I'm sticking by that. I think their team's starting to get into a flow. They started off very good. Then they went on a little bit low, but now they're back in their winning ways. Finalists, Devils. Now that Hischier and Hughes are back, I think they're going to get back on the right track. Hischier just got back. Presidents, Carolina. Obviously, Boston or the New York Rangers would be my pick right now. So not good, but also they can just go on and absolutely tear at any point. They're so built for the regular season. Worst, San Jose Sharks. Going to happen probably. Hart, Ross, Rocket. Possible, but definitely less than 50% compared to the preseason. Rocket, I think, is going to happen. Matthews. Norris, Makar, still sticking by that. Calder, Bedard, sticking by that. Selke, it probably would be Alexander Barkov right now, and unless he gets hurt, he has that reputation that I think he's going to end up winning it. Jack Adams or Jay Woodcroft. Yeah, obviously that's dead on. Maybe someone will pick him up. Imagine like he gets hired by like the Senators or the Islanders, and then they just go on an absolute tear, end up making the playoffs, and then Jay Woodcroft wins the goddamn Jack Adams. I would love to see that, but obviously dead. Fun fact: I picked Travis Green 2 years ago on the Canucks to make the playoffs or win the Jack Adams. I picked Travis Green. Was the first coach fired. Disaster. Gregory Fitzgerald's going to have a decent case because Toffoli has been so good. If they can, at the deadline, say that they're a struggling team, if he has great moves at the deadline, then because Gregory's so stupid, they vote after the second round of the playoffs. Devils can end up making the second round of the playoffs, and Fitzgerald has a very good deadline. That could still happen. It's definitely not ideal to start, but you kind of blame it maybe on Lindy Ruff right now, how bad they're playing, instead of Fitzgerald. It's possible. Vezina, Shesterkin. Not like a clear Vezina favored right now. I forgot to mention Demko when I was doing that list. So that could still happen if Quick starts to slow down, but obviously not the pick right now. Most improved, Bouchard. Offensively improved, maybe. Underrated, the Vancouver Canucks. I was on that. Even though I had them missing the playoffs by a point, I told people they were going to be a highly competitive team. I think I hit that nail on the head. And then the most overrated team, the Buffalo Sabres. Thus far, I think that maybe is the case. Maybe you could say my Ottawa Senators, but I think people were very high in the Buffalo Sabres, and I didn't really understand the hype. But let me know in the comments, what do you think about these predictions, and what are your predictions going forward? I should do like a revised NHL predictions soon or something like that. Maybe I'll do a quarter season award list or something like that. But anyway, I'll be seeing you in the next one. Adios.